Okay guys, so I thought I'd talk about why I bought a KLR 650. Now if you remember back to my spring trip of last year, you might recall that I was in a situation where I needed a bigger bike to ride the highway in between the area I was riding. This is one scenario where it would be nice to have a bigger bike. That entire ride, I really didn't need a bike that small. It would have been handy to have a larger one. So I wanted an adventure bike with some wind protection, wind fairings, a larger fuel range, with decent ability to go on dirt. Originally, I was looking at a Tenere 700, but the more I looked at it, and the more I looked at what mods I wanted to get, I was quickly approaching around $17,000, which is quite a lot for me, and I didn't want to finance it. After my brother, who lives in Kansas, bought a KLR 650 of the same year as mine, I took a serious look at the KLR 650. I'm going to slow down a bit here. So there's a couple things that attracted me to the KLR 650 besides money. I could have bought two of these for the same price that I was going to spend on the T7 or more. One of the things is I actually really like the look of the fairing on camera. I've always enjoyed watching KLR 650 videos because of it. I just find it a very attractive fairing. Also, if you guys have been following me for a while, one of the other things that I liked about this bike is that it just gets the job done. I have never been one for adrenaline-filled adventures, but I do enjoy having adventures, and I've always been satisfied with my XT250's ability to get the job done. That being said, I think the KLR gets the job done a little bit better on a wider variety of situations. The XT250 I would not be comfortable taking out in 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts like I'm doing today, or in this severe cold. Without the wind protection, I'd be in trouble. And while the KLR doesn't have the same power as the T7, it does have better wind protection, better comfort, and I'm going to be less worried about dropping it. No winter maintenance, enter at your own risk. That's not super encouraging. I think I'm going to slow way down here. The third thing that I like about this motorcycle is its low down torque, and after having ridden it, I'm very impressed with it. This thing feels like it just wants to keep on lugging, which I do quite like. Woo! Alright, I'm entering at my own risk, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go very far because I see some cones up there. Man, judging by the amount of snow that I see on the road, it might not be the worst thing. Road closed to through traffic. Now I technically could totally ignore this sign. However, I probably shouldn't do that. Whoa. I was riding with the wind, and now I am not. However, I'm hoping you guys can hear me a little better. I did just upgrade my microphone, so hopefully that's working better for you guys. Man, that's windy. Well, that's disappointing, but not unexpected. Idaho, you basically can't go anywhere in the winter. You can go in the desert, but it was just raining all night long and snowing, so it's probably going to be muddy. I don't really think I want to deal with that. So I'm just going to turn around and see if there's any other nice roads I can go on. I wouldn't mind traveling down this valley a ways, but not sure if I can. Ooh, it's very windy. The other thing that I liked about this KLR 650 is that I really feel like this bike, more than any other, kind of embodies the spirit of adventure. And I really felt like that would be a good fit for my channel. Oh, there's a road there. Let's see if I can go on that. And if you're concerned, do not be concerned, because I'm not going to go selling this thing at the drop of a hat. I am planning to keep this for a good long time. I feel like it's going to do everything that I need it to do. The wind's really coming at me sideways. Ooh. So the fact of the matter is that more people have taken this bike on more miles than probably any other adventure bike, because it's affordable and it does the job, it's reliable, and easy to fix. So the other thing I was looking at it when it came to this bike was how cheap the mods were compared to the mods on the T7. It would have been way more for the mods on the T7 than this thing. If you guys have seen my XT250 mod video, you'll know that I really like to mod my motorcycles, and I intend to mod this one as well. Whoa! That had to be more than a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust right there. That was pushing me to the other side of the road. The last thing that I considered when it comes to purchasing this KLR was like a pretty big factor for me that I was quite concerned about with the T7, and that's the fuel range. This bike has like 6.1 gallons of fuel in its stock, and I would have had to done some major upgrades. It would have costed me around $400 to $600 to get a new gas tank installed on the T7, and then it would have been a plastic gas tank. And I'm really a sucker for the metal gas tanks that come stock on these adventure motorcycles or the dual sport motorcycles. I really don't like upgrading the fuel tank. And on this KLR, I don't have to. And it's got a nice flippy gas tank on it, which I'm quite impressed with. Now, I also have no idea where this road goes. I guess we'll find out. I'm hoping I could just pass back through this mountain range. Man, I'm not sure I'm going to make it. Well, I'm not going to complain too hard, because usually when these roads are closed, they're closed for a reason. That sucks too, because this was going to head right where I wanted to go. When it warms up a little bit, I'll take you guys out into the desert. There's some really fun riding out there. That'll be a really good test for how I like this thing off-road. And I'm going to try to have new handlebars by then. I know putting new handlebars probably wouldn't be giving this thing a fair shake where it's at stock, but I really don't like these handlebars. About the only thing good about them is the sitting position. As soon as you try to stand up, it just feels awkward. At least at my height of around 5'11". So I'm putting some Tusk Chub bars on this thing. Alright, bring on the wind. It is very windy. Once I get out of in the desert, it'll be really fun. So I just have to get through this winter. Now back to the T7. The T7 is obviously a better motorcycle, but is it better for you? Is the question. For me, well, I didn't think that it was. And after having this bike for at least a couple of, I don't know, I'm on like week 1 or 2, I'm really happy with it. You know, I came from a XT250. That's all I've ever really ridden. I mean, I've ridden briefly a CRF 300L Rally before. I've ridden a KLX 230. I've ridden a KLR 250. So I really haven't ridden anything as powerful as this motorcycle. So to me, it feels plenty powerful. It can get up to the speeds I need it to. It protects me from the wind. It feels like it really handles well. Oh, and the price, of course, was just right. I don't regret this purchase, and I don't think I'm ever going to. I've talked about it a little bit, but I've got plenty of trips planned on this, like, you know, Idaho BDR, Colorado BDR, Wyoming BDR. I'm going to do all the BDRs that I can. Now, I work full-time, so I kind of have to get the vacation and plan the trips out, so maybe only one full BDR a year and tons of other rides, tons of moto camping. You know, I could do any part of South Idaho, even up to Boise and around that area, and I could do it in a day on this motorcycle, which is not something that I think I could have done on the XT250. And I do intend on taking this on dirt. And some of you guys may be like, hey, get a smaller bike. And my answer would be I have a smaller bike, and I'll take that if I want. If I think that that's what I want to take on a ride, I'm going to go take that. So I'm not selling the XT250. But this motorcycle, I think, is going to be my go-to for some of my longer adventure trips. You know, I can see a lot more on this thing. And that's definitely going to be a blast. In the meantime, I'm going to turn it into my own and test its limits and see what it can do. So stick around for the ride. If you enjoyed this video and look forward to seeing more like it and more better in the future, make sure to subscribe. Like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you have a KLR, why'd you get it? As always, thanks for watching. God bless.